Hey everyone, how are you doing? Woo! We're excited to be here.
Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of Adobe Live Education Edition. I'm Claudio Zavala Jr., education evangelist based in Texas. Today we're excited to dive in and talk all about some fun creative activities with Adobe Express for education.
Yeah. Good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time you're watching. If you're watching it now, we're glad that you're watching now. But my name is Martin Ricardo Cisneros Orozco Jr. Please repeat. I'm kidding. My name is Martin Cisneros. I am also an education evangelist. I work here for the Adobe, of course, education and community team. And I'm based out of here of wonderful Northern California, where it's nice and cool and we can wear jerseys without having to wear the sweaters.
Yes.
I love it. So today we are going to dive into some very fun stuff. But you know what week it is, Claudio?
It has something to do with people that show
There's
us
some very special people.
Very special people
that we celebrate every year in this during this time. So yes, we are definitely celebrating our teachers, our very special teachers throughout this wonderful globe. And if there's teachers outside of this globe, we're celebrating you too.
Yes. Where are they coming from?
Yeah. So we're gonna dive in, and we are going to not only do some really cool stuff, but we're going to be talking about thank you cards, awards, videos, just all the different ways that we can use Adobe Express to celebrate our wonderful educators.
Absolutely. So for the next 55 minutes or so, we're going to be using Adobe Express for Education, the quick and easy content creation app for education from Adobe, free for K-12. We're going to show you how you can boost creativity, engage students, and tips for supercharging productivity.
Yes. Plus, Claudia and I are going to do some live demos. So we are going to hit all the wonderful buttons.
Yes.
You know what's fun about hitting all the wonderful buttons, Claudio?
What's that?
Is I love that since I joined Adobe, literally almost every week, every time I hit, I think I have hit all the buttons. There's so many more buttons to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
new buttons will pop up here and there. Yeah.
So I love it. And for those of you who are brand new, what are we using, ladies and gentlemen? We are using, of course, Adobe Express for Education K-12 edition. That's right. This is like the ultimate. So for those of you who have been teaching for a while, like I have, I always tell people I started teaching in the late 1900s with technology. But what I love about Adobe Express is it is, like Claudio said, it is your all-in-one creativity app with the sprinkle of AI and creative goodness all over that is free for K-12 Global.
All right, so let's dive in, Martin. So what do we got? What do we chat?
Well, you know what, Claudio, because we are talking about Teacher Appreciation Week. In my head, I always think about my favorite, teacher, right?
Absolutely.
So, one of my favorite teachers for forever will be Mr. Gale Wills. So a big salute to Mr. Gale Wills. He was my fifth grade teacher. And not only was he my fifth grade teacher, but he was also my little league coach.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So what I love about...
That's why we're wearing jersey for you, coach.
But part of this story is during that year, we came in last place. But I remember the speech that he gave us on the bus ride back of our very last game, and I remember this because in his speech he said, you will miss every shot you do not take, every swing you don't take, and I have kept that with me. So I love him for that. He also introduced me to jazz because he was the first teacher that would play jazz music in between sessions, and he was always leveling up. So once again, big salute to Mr. Gale Wills. How about you?
Jazz in fifth grade. That's pretty amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
I know. I know.
So every time I talk about teachers and teacher appreciation, I mean, we have so many that have impacted our lives. But the one that I always refer to is Mr. Hamilton, Greg Hamilton. Once I was older, I was able to call him when I graduated. I called him by his first name, Greg. But Mr. Hamilton. So he was my woodshop teacher, and he taught woodshop, and which is no longer at the school, which is kind of sad later on. But for 4 years as a freshman to a senior, so I built cabinets, bookcases, like you name it, clocks, but really what he taught me a lot was about creativity, problem solving, because you have to figure out, if I'm going to put this armoire on this, is it going to fit? How much wood do I need to order? And so I designed it from scratch, drawing, building it, and then showcasing it, and so really taught me a lot about the creative process. And so shout out to Mr. Hamilton, if you are on your boat, because that's where he lived on
really?
a boat in Oceanside.
California,
thank you, Mr. Hamilton. So
that's great. That's the thing. Great teachers don't only just teach subjects, ladies and gentlemen. They spark creativity. They entrust a lot of confidence in us, and we find so many different ways of literally shaping the next future. So this is why we want to celebrate them. This is the whole reason. So what else do you think about what we're going to do today, Claudio?
Well, as we dive into these activities, so we're gonna celebrate the teachers that are out there, and also we see a lot of teachers in the chat right now.
Woot woot.
And so I see some of our friends, Miss Ann Cosma, I see Martha, hello, and then Timothy is back. Timothy, thanks so much for joining.
Senor Silva.
Whether you're watching us on YouTube or on Behance, thank you so much for all of you who are watching. And so shouting out teachers. So this whole thing is about teacher appreciation. It's about you.
So, folks, while you're watching, Timothy, I see you, and Jack, Jacob, please drop into the chat. Who is your favorite teacher and why? What stays in your memory, right? So, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be a good one.
All right, Martin. So let's dive into our first project. So Martin's going to do the first demo here. So Martin, what do we have?
So I like to think about, one word. When you think about like our favorite teachers, what's that one word?
I would say impactful.
Impactful, right?
Yeah.
And it could be creative, it could be inspiring, it could be a variety of different things. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off with our one word tribute. Love it. Here's the live demo. So if you're following along, come with me, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top left. We're going to go ahead and click on that wonderful plus sign. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a custom size. That's right, custom size. So if you're following along, I want you to click on the custom size, and the custom size is, ready, 1920 by 600. I know for a lot of you, you're finding out, what? You can do custom sizes? Yes. So once again, I'm going to leave that up for a few seconds. So it's 1900 by 600. So that is what we're doing. Awesome. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, of course, create the new file. And once we do that, this is now our creation. So,
love it.
Claudio, we are fortunate enough that we have a lot of friends throughout. So, on this particular one, someone that I'm thinking of at the moment is Miss Melissa Kincaid.
Oh, Melissa. Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you, Claudio, tell the folks a little bit about Melissa.
Well, so she's one of our creative educator innovators, and she's an EdTech trainer, creative math educator, and STEAM advocate in the Cincinnati area. And so we wanted to give a shout out. So we'd love to give everybody a shout out here.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of this special day for you all. And we're seeing in the chat so many people are dropping their favorite teachers. So
my last, I think one of the last times I saw Melissa was at our innovator, and all I remember is, Melissa, if you're watching, my salute to you. It was we did the whole kid and play dance.
Oh my God, yes.
So it's like, hey,
pulling a hamstring too,
exactly. Right? So all of you teachers, we each have a special capability. So students, if you're watching, make sure that your teachers show you their special stuff. So Claudio, so we're going to do this one word tribute. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, of course, this is now our template. I'm going to go down here towards the bottom where you are going to see charts and grids. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And when you do so, I'm going to go down here where you see grid. So I'm going to go ahead and click on view all, if y'all can see that. Oh, it actually works on here. I didn't think that was going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and click on view all. And then I'm going to search for the one that has 5 different, components that you can add in. So I'm going to scroll down. And when you scroll down, you are going to see it right here. So if you can count, right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Awesome.
So I'm going to select that. And the first time I did this, I was trying to stretch this thing out, but Claudio, we are Adobe, and I love it when Adobe just adds the stuff that makes the life a lot simpler. So all you really need to do is, once you have your grid up here, and make sure that they're 5, is we have this wonderful button over here on the left-hand side that says set background. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click on set background, and voila, it's automatically there, right?
Snap.
Yeah. So the reality is you can play around with it. So right below, you're going to see these two wonderful levelers. You have the padding and the spacing. So with the padding, if you move it over, you can have, so I'm just going to leave mine just a tad bit. I'm going to leave mine at, as we can see here, for those of you who have small screens, I'm leaving that at 8. And also the spacing, I'm leaving it at 8. But if you're wondering what we do, you can, of course, make it larger or smaller, but you'll see the end game.
I'm anxious to see what's going to happen here, man.
Yeah. So now, here comes the fun part, right? The fun part is you now get to put some pictures of your favorite teacher here.
Oh, love it.
So, so what I ended up doing is I ended up I went to the interwebs, because Melissa Kincaid is all over the interwebs, and she's always creating some amazing stuff. So I went online, I grabbed some of my favorite photos and some of her favorite some of my favorite creations of her that she posts online, because she's a dynamo. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and click on upload. And I am going to, I missed a step. There's different ways of doing this, but I'm going to show you one way. So the first way is I'm going to click on this very first box. Now on this very first box, I can now go ahead, let me do that again. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click replace, and then I'm going to replace with the upload. So that's what I'm going to do. And earlier, like I said, I went ahead, oh no, it's over here on my desktop. I created a folder specifically for Melissa.
Ah, I love it.
So in here, there she is, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Queen Mel. Can you see it? Yeah, neither can I. My computer's taking a lot longer, but I know she's there, so I'm going to go ahead and click on open. And when I do click on open, you see the magic happen in front of you. Yes, this is real time. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. So for some odd reason, it's not taking it, but this is why we move to number 2, right? So I just happen to know that I have my folder of Miss Melissa ready to roll. So once again, I'm going to select this particular one. There she is. It just needed time. You know what we needed? We needed to add extra 25 cents to the internet machine.
Awesome. Just ching, 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 ching.
So there we have. So once again, I'm going to just go back. I'm going to click on the next one. I'm going to click replace. I'm going to click on replace with upload. And then I am just going to go down the line, click open, and there we go. So this is some of her artwork that I found, and I am, I love this component, right? Look at all this amazing stuff. Yeah. I tell you, she is.
She did, and then all those AI ones that she made were just amazing and very inspirational.
This is one of my favorite, the kid one, right? So, this other one, I'm gonna do one more just so you guys can see the whole thing. This one, once again, I got also from the interwebs. But here's what I'm gonna show you, right? Because, Melissa's just famous everywhere she goes. But if you're like me, and if you have pictures of your favorite, folks, and you're like, oh, is there a way that we can zoom in or close up? Of course, with Adobe Express, specifically with the grids, you can double click on the picture, and then, of course, you can move it around. So that way we center her,
I love it.
And then click there. So that was step one. Step one, of course, was creating the graphic. And once again, if you forgot the size, it's 1920 by 600.
Yeah, to get the nice little long version, the landscape version.
Yeah. And then, of course, the second part was definitely going down here to the charts and grids, and then choosing the grid that has the 5, which is this one down here. And then the third part was, of course, adding, all these wonderful photos. And just as a reminder, if you're doing a theme or if you're doing other stuff with this project, you can always go here to media, and remember, you have access to all of Adobe Photo Stock Collection, specifically for K-12. But here comes the fun part, now, Claudio.
Yeah.
So now, we got to give Melissa her respect. So I'm going to go here to the text button, and I'm going to go ahead and add her name. So I'm going to click on the light purple blue button that says add your text, and I am going to write her name. Now, for those of you watching, you're going to see, well, that's pretty hard to read.
It's hard to see.
Even if I stretch it out as much as I can, right? That's still hard to see. So for this particular project, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find me a chunkier font.
Chunkier font.
Yeah, because
chunky chocolate chip, like chunky chocolate. Yeah.
that and chunky is funky as well.
Chunky funky.
So what I'm going to do now is, you can go, and spend your next few hours looking at all of the Adobe fonts that we have, because of course this is powered by Adobe fonts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the recommendation. Now, if you look very closely, right, you have recommendation fonts and you have this button that says View All. So we're going to click on View All. And now I'm going to quickly glance at this, right? And I already saw one up here at the top that is pretty chunky.
Yeah.
But here's also another tip, right? I only see one chunky one, but look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this a lot better. When you zoom in, you have...
I haven't even noticed that.
Yeah, so you have this little, I don't even know what it's called, but for me it's just called magic. It's what it's called.
Magic wave.
Magic wave, yes. So this magic wave, when you click on it, I'm going to zoom in, you can see more like this type of font, which is what I want. Is I want a chunkier font, and you're going to see why in a moment. So when I click on it, now we see, of course, a variety of chunky fonts.
Martin, you talked about like every time we come in, we have new buttons. That's a new button for me right there.
Right on. Yeah. So I'm digging this one. Actually, this one up here. I'm going to dig it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, perfect.
Chunky is funky, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know if you guys can notice, but the reason why I'm moving, I'm going to zoom down here a little bit, but you see those two right there? Yeah. So the cross one is to move your image around, and of course the one that looks like a half circle is to do the orientation. But I like to use this, and I don't know if you can see right next to the eye, you have that little purple line just letting me know that I'm pretty much right on point. So I'm going to literally extend this as far as I can to make it as large as I can. Right about there. And now, once again, I'm going to try to center it until I see that purple light. Now, here comes the fun part, right? So now we have our pictures, we have our name, and you can put, whatever words that came up. So if it was creative, if it was inspiring, whatever your teacher means to you. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead, and now we get to do some fun part, right? We can do some fun stuff. So under effects, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to click under effects, and we have a variety of different effects we can do with fonts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here to where you see shapes, right? So you see shapes, and I'm going to go ahead and click on View All.
Love it.
So on the View All, right, we have a variety of basic and decorative. So I'm just going to click right here where it says to show more of the regular one, and I am going to go here. Yeah, so I'm going to click on the fill, and booyah, right? You now have the name. Now, I know what you're saying. You're like, Martin, well, what was the whole reason why we chose the picture? So the whole thing is for us to make sure, so we can reveal. So here's the spot, because this is where people get lost sometimes. So underneath this particular effect, you can now click on the options, right? And in the options, you of course have your colors up here, but down here we have a special button, and what does that say?
Cut out text.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to go ahead and click on cut out text, and booyah,
Cut it out.
Yes. And if you're like me, Melissa is kind of royalty to us, so I'm going to give her the purple.
Nice. I love it.
But look at that. So I love doing these projects, Claudia, because, once again, this is where you can definitely do stuff. And if you're seeing the back end of how we did the borders, right? So one of the pro tips is using the background color, and you can definitely, change that around. So red, yellow.
Very cool.
And if you want the same color, I use the color picker, and booyah.
Booyah.
There we go.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, fantastic. So, creating a nice little, let's say, reveal for one of your favorite educators, in this case, Melissa. Thank you so much for everything that you do. So, we're going to now dive into some video.
Ooh, video.
So, we're going to be diving into some video here. And so, video is one of my one of my favorite things to do is video. And I love creating content. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna jump on this. So now I'm gonna take my screen here, and we're going to be talking about shouting out an educator. But I'm gonna use the feature that was brand new in Express. Was recently new, which is our video self-record feature.
Yes, I am loving that.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a search for a template for Teacher Appreciation Week. And so there's so many great templates. So the wonderful thing is you don't have to start from scratch. And so I'm going to look for something here that I can use for a shout out for one of our favorite teachers out there. So here we go. So there's so many great ones here you can choose from. And I think I like this one right here. Like this one says, "Thank you, Miss Jones." So I'm going to click that one right there. And I'm going to go ahead and do a customize this template. And what I'm going to do, because this is one of my favorites to do, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shout out. Here we go. Thank you. So one of our other favorite folks, Miss Tanya Gonzalez.
Yes. Oh, Tanya.
So Tanya, if you're watching or you're watching this on recording, well, thank you so much. Everything that you do, like just the content that you share. So we're gonna say love Adobe team, Adobe EDU, and so if you haven't had a chance to check out this tool, so a quick, easy look. I mean, I'm almost pretty much done with this.
Yeah.
Like you're an amazing teacher, innovator. But I'm going to do something different here. So this image we have of this educator here, which I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And what I'm going to do here is, if you haven't played with this, over on the left-hand side, we have our media button. And we're going to go over to videos. And right here, record yourself.
I love that that's there now.
So record yourself.
Yes.
And right there, you can see like they're gonna have like Inception right here, so you can see me in here. There's Martine right over here. So I'm gonna record here, do a little quick recording for Tanya right here. So I'm gonna start recording, and in 3, 2, 1. Hey Tanya, thank you so much for all that you do for your students to impact their lives and help them become lifelong creators. You are the best. Peace. All right, so there it is. I just did the quick recording.
I love that.
I'm gonna go ahead and save that recording. And then here's the awesome thing. Okay, so I can do several things with this self-record piece here. So I can either choose to crop it.
Yes.
So then,
yes.
okay, so it's, we talk about appreciation. So like I can make it into a heart. Click on it again, and let's go to crop. Whoops. I mean, you can pretty much do any shape here. And one of the ones that I like to do is just the circle option right here. And then here we go. To make that larger, and look, I can pretty much be ready. I can have this pretty much ready to go. And then if I hit play, so hey Tanya, thank you so much for all that you do for a special way that you can acknowledge creators. You are the best.
So this is Claudio. First of all, this just brings me so many ideas of what teachers and students can do with this, right? So in my head, class discussions, right?
Yeah.
You take a picture of the subject that you're working on, your presentation. You can do that as well. But I love this because once again, this is a great way to tell someone about how special they are through the power of video.
Absolutely.
And one of the other things, Claudio, that I just saw just because you were moving around. When you recorded, and maybe we can do this in one of the other activities that we do. One of my favorite things of using Adobe Express in the classroom is in our Animate from Audio, the Enhance Audio.
Yeah.
But something that's brand new. That's right inside.
We have the enhanced speech option right there.
So the enhanced audio or the enhanced speech is now built into all the videos that you do inside of Adobe Express.
If you haven't played with it, you have to play with it. It's amazing. So one of the other things I wanted to quickly, and then we'll pass the baton to you, Martine. So I'm going to undo this crop and go back to the original one. The other option you can do is, if you want, is just use a remove background and remove the background from the video. So that it's just multiple ways. So creating these really interactive thank you cards to your favorite teacher, I mean, Mother's Day is coming up, so if you want to make one for mom as well, that's also another way you can do this. So what's happening is Adobe Express is removing the background frame by frame. So it does take a little bit longer to do this, but just a really fun way to create some really neat thank you cards, but using video and using the voice and I just used the template.
This is amazing. Once again, I'm thinking about class discussions here, formative assessments. As a multilingual teacher, I think about language process, but I also think about elote.
Elote.
Yeah, do you know what elote is?
Well, elote is corn. Elote.
I know. I used to say this, but it's actually lote is what you say in Spanish,
Yeah.
but lot, which is languages other than education. So I just think about, just for language practice, right?
Yeah.
And not just for people who are learning different languages, but even if you're just, doing it on your own, reading responses, book reviews, the list goes on and on and on.
All right, Martin. So what we're gonna shift it over. So passing the baton over to you now. So for our next activity, and thank you all of you who are dropping in the comments right here. We see Michael Clear. Thank you so much. Miss Lemeski's in here too. Awesome. I love seeing all the wonderful folks. Alfredo Silva's in here as well.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. And so it looks like someone made one for Mother's Day. Awesome. So people are getting ideas and so getting inspired. So Martin, what's up next?
So what I want to do is something, we're towards the end of the school year. We're about to, of course, go through graduations, and there's going to be a lot of pomp and circumstance everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all about, and as teachers, we do this on ourselves. Of course, we have the regular, ceremonies and stuff, but as educators, sometimes we want to give our own special certificates. So I'm going to create some certificates, Claudio, to one of our special innovators.
Yes.
So first of all, there's so many different ways of developing a certificate in Adobe Express, but I'm just going to show you, especially for folks, because a lot of people forget that this is even up here.
Yeah.
Yes, this top search button, search for content or generate your own, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to type in the word certificate. Now, what I love about this is once I click certificate, you are now going to see over 2,000 different results. But where my eye goes to, I go directly down here to where I see templates. And then, of course, I'm going to zoom in right here where it says view all. And I'm going to go ahead and click on view all. And as you can see, there are literally tons, over 1,000 different types of certificates that you can develop. Now, what's fun with Adobe Express is that you can get, of course, inspiration from pretty much anywhere. So what I'm going to do, I kind of like this one because it's colorful, but I just want to show you a few things, right? So you can click on it. I'm going to go ahead and click on customize this template, right? So there it is, and I love the color. So the first thing I always tell folks to do before you even begin on anything else, I always think about is how do you make it yours, right? So I happen to have our logos and stuff, and I think we've done it before in one of these sessions where you can create your own brand, but I have my own brand where I have all of our logos and stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and then I am going to add our Adobe for Education brand, and I'm going to go ahead and choose where's my one with the white lettering. Did I just miss it? I could have. Okay, I'll just use this one for today.
Love it.
There it is. So now, of course, I'm going to move it up and then zoom in. Anyways, as you can see, make this a little bit special, right?
Yeah.
And like with everything else, it's like, at Adobe, we like to make things fun. So once again, part of the brands, I developed, and grabbed assets from different places. So I like these little loop-de-loops. But the reality is if you don't have, your own assets over here, you can go to Elements. And then what I type in is I'll type in something like Scribble because I love scribbles. So I'll give you an example. I'll look into like design assets up here and like here's one, right? So you can bring it in, make it your own because I like stuff being snazzy. Now I'm going to start editing some of that stuff. So since this is one of our favorite friends, I am going to change this around and I'm going to put my name here. And then I'm like, what are we today?
Yeah. So making like customized gift certificates.
Yeah.
I said gift certificate, but you could make gift certificates,
Yes,
awards,
yes.
And some unique ones that you can, eventually print these out and share them. And
and then there. I love this. All right. Now, this particular person, we're going to do the reveal slowly, right?
Yeah.
So this particular person, for his, I'm going to put so far 8 years and outstanding service, but I like using my own words sometimes, Claudio.
Yeah.
And this particular person has brought some awesome sauce to his work. Service with, you're ready for the place?
All right.
This particular person works at one of our Southern California districts called Hacienda La Puente.
Oh, okay.
USD.
Okay. Reveal. Okay.
Yeah, can you guess?
Yeah.
Are you close?
I think I see. Is he your tocayo? For those of you that look up that word tocayo.
Yes. Don't adjust your television sets. We're not in Spanish mode. That's coming up in June. Yes.
All right.
He is Ricardo Recinos.
Ricardo.
So he is just literally freshly minted Adobe Innovator.
Ricardo.
But Ricardo and I have been working for the past 2 years, and he is doing some amazing. I love Ricardo because Ricardo reminds me when I used to have his job. And Ricardo is like a digital Cub Scout.
Oh, nice.
And what I mean by that is whatever ed tech tool there is to learn, he's out there, he's learning it, and he's figuring out how to bring it back, not only to the teachers, but also so he can showcase it, how to use that particular tool with the students as well. So now, Claudio, it's like, all right, this is looking pretty good, right? But once again, I love this because I am not crazy about this font. So my recommendation, once again, if you're like, I don't know whether or not this is the right thing, right? Up here, once again, I always go to my recommendations. I go to view all, because here we're using also a little AI,
I love it.
right? And with this little AI, it gives you different ideas.
We got the waves again too, right?
Yeah. So I'm kind of digging this one here. And let's see, there was another one that I saw earlier. I kind of like this one as well. So once again, I'm going to go through the little waves here to show more like this. And then now it's giving me more. Okay, this is now, right here. This is the one. Booyah, right there, right? So now it's getting kind of fun.
Yeah.
So before I finish his, I want to show you a few things because in my last position, Claudio, we had about 8 different language communities that we dealt with. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know where I'm going with this, right?
I think I know where you're going. Yeah.
So what I love about this is this used to take me forever, and they used to take our team forever, depending on what the certifications were for. But now I want you to see this, right? So we are going to go up here to our handy dandy translate button. We're going to click on translate, and up here I'm just going to show you the communities that I had back in the day.
Okay.
We had traditional Chinese. We had our Filipino crew, definitely. We have our Hindi gente, as I like to call them.
Wow.
And then, of course, where is our Portuguese? And then, of course, I cannot forget
Muito obrigado.
Our Spanish, right? So you can do that.
Okay.
But look at, I'm going to zoom in.
Oh, yeah. See, this feature is awesome.
Yeah. So you can now come in here and say, oh, you know what? This is a certificate, right?
Yeah.
Certificates are usually what?
Formal.
They're formal. So you can do formal, but this is a special certificate. And sometimes teachers, we love to do special certificates. So it might be informal.
Yeah.
You get to choose, right? You get to choose. Or maybe you need that student that would love, or you know that his family or his community would love a formal one. Yeah. It doesn't matter, but I wanted you to see that. So I'm just going to leave mine as formal, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to zoom back out so you can see all this greatness. There we go. And now I'm going to hit that magical translate button at the bottom. And ready, Claudio?
Yes, let's do it.
I like jazz hands.
Yeah.
So Jazz hands. We're doing jazz hands. The better the jazz hands, the better it comes out. Claudia and I don't know how this works. We just work here. Look at this magic as it's coming down, ladies and gentlemen. And so now, right, you have your certifications in the different language communities that you work with.
That's fantastic. And then I love at the top of each one, it gives the indicator language that it was translated into.
Yeah, so this is something new. We didn't have this at the very beginning, but as Claudio mentioned, you look up here and you'll see exactly which language you've translated it to, right? So, but since we're heading out with Ricardo on this one, I'm going to make Ricardo's a little special because I too went out to the interwebs and I found some cool stuff of his. So I have my own special Ricardo component. So I'm going to bring in his picture so you can see his amazing face here. And I think once again, it's that we need the extra 25 cents on the internet machine. Going once, going twice, and I'll find a different way if this doesn't come out. All right, not a problem.
Let's bring it in.
We'll bring it.
As soon as you do that, it'll come out.
I know, that's what I'm waiting for as well. Okay, is it coming? Is it coming? Are you
here?
There
it is.
I
think I just.
Okay, all right, there it is.
Okay,
all right.
Fantastic.
So now, just like you did, Claudio, I love this because, I think Ricardo is a superstar. So that's what I'm going to do. And then, of course, I'm just going to move the star right next to his face. Yeah. Booyah.
Ricardo's been doing amazing stuff he's been sharing. So kudos, Ricardo.
So I'm going to put his star down here. And my favorite thing, I'm going to do this one more time where I'm going to upload. And this time I'm going to use... This is once again one of his magics because Ricardo, like Melissa, is one of those folks that is always creating and generating a variety of different things. But just by this by itself, I love the fact that we can make whatever certificates our own. And you have options to all the digital elements. You have options to all the, of course, photos.
Yes, I remember seeing this one. Yes.
But this is one of my favorites. Of course, this is his, art of his. So I'm going to go ahead, use the remove background, and we are going to attach this.
And if you meet Ricardo in person, like that's him right there. That is him right there.
So I love this, and then I love doing this little trick where I'm going to go into effects. I'm going to go ahead and use the tones because this just makes it fun. And then I'm going to duplicate it. That's right.
Very cool.
And then I just use a different color, and I do this about 3 times. But I love the effect that it does. You see that shadow that's already going on.
Oh, that's cool.
And then by the third one, we are ready to...
I need to wear 3D glasses. For
exactly. For the third one, I use the original. But, oh my goodness, folks. Look at that.
Very cool
Look
tip
at
there.
that. Yeah,
Love that. That's fantastic. That is super, super fantastic. So, let me get my screen ready here.
What other fun can we do? How else can we celebrate our wonderful teachers?
So what we're going to dive into here. So we're gonna. This is, I call this an appreciation wall. We're going to share with you creating an appreciation wall. And so I've got I'm on the home screen here on Adobe Express. So actually, what I did, Martina, is I created this little template right here, and we'll share this out for you all. We'll have the link for that for you to share. It's a EDU digital wall. So that's what I just made up the term, digital appreciation wall. But being that we're appreciating teachers this week, so this is a template. So we'll have this available for you to click on and remix. So you'll see the link come up here in a little bit here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And so what we're doing with this, Martin, is it's taking like this. So I've got like this cork board. I just went and found this cork board image in the stock, brought it in, and then I have these little Post-it notes, stick-it notes. So this is analog. Back in the day we had analogs. We had little sticker, little pins. So I just went and got these, and the way I just changed the colors, so I used your effect that you did with Ricardo's picture.
Yes.
So I just
use the tones.
Use the tones. So it's basically the original one was in that yellow and red, and I just took different tones. So it kind of made it look like there's different ones.
Oh, I love this.
So now, thinking of creating something like this in your class, so making something for teachers. Also, it's Mother's Day coming up. I can't stress that.
And don't forget Dads in June.
And so a great way for you to do a shout out. So this is mine right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that because I've already got that recorded. So that's the template. So we'll walk you through how to make this, and I'm also gonna invite Martine to this project here in a little bit. So what we're gonna do is go back to the media button, and we're gonna go to videos, and I'm gonna hit the record yourself. So this is again the video self-record feature in Adobe Express. If any of you remember the tool Flipgrid, similar to Flipgrid. So if you think of this using this as a tool to replace something like Flipgrid. So now you can add your voice to a project like this. So we've got record yourself, and we got the camera up. So I'm going to do a shout out here to another educator. So I'm going to go ahead and one of our other wonderful innovators. So I'm going to go ahead and start record here, and here we go. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Fonz Mendoza. He is an innovator from South Texas. I want to say thank you for all that you do. Also, he's got a wonderful podcast. You got to check it out. So, Fonz, thank you so much for everything that you do. And stop recording. I probably shouldn't have said that little last bit right there. But I'm going to go ahead and save the recording. And as it's saving in the background, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this little crop right here. We're going to go with a circle. And so I've got this, and since we've got this green screen behind us right here, I'm just going to keep that right there. And so I've got this quick, like the wall, get it started. But here's where the fun comes in. So we're going to get this project and collaborate, invite others to work on a project together. So it's not just like having that one student working on a project. We have multiple ones. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to invite Martin to this project. And so then Martin will be able to do another shout out. So
I love it.
I'm going to send this on over to Martin. And so like Martin's going to repeat the process on his screen. And then we'll be able to see his video pop up there. So like Martin's going to get, so Martin, so on his screen, he is on the home screen, and he's already in there. So like Martin is already opened it up in his account. So he's going to do the same thing. And he's going to repeat the process.
Well, hello. This message is for Miss Kate Tolnai. Kate, you know I love you for everything that you do, and of course, one of my our original innovators. So thank you for all you do. Boss.
Love it. Okay, so now Martin's going to add that. So look, here's the recording. So now that Martin's going to do some editing, and then we'll switch back to my screen right here. And Martin's got the heart going on. So look, so Martin's working on his computer, but it's also showing on mine. So we're collaborating on this project right here. So we've got this wonderful digital appreciation wall in the works. So that once Martin gets his text, so he's going to put his, he just did the quick copy duplicate of that little from Claudia. Now it's from Martin. Okay, so now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So as soon as you start to add multiple videos on here, so we're gonna give you kind of a walkthrough here. So like if you want to do this with your students, like here's some tips, because if I hit play, we're gonna hear.
Oh. Well, hello.
We're gonna hear like a cacophony of sound there.
We're gonna hear like the kids just came back from third grade recess. That's what we're gonna hear.
So it's a little workaround right here. What we're gonna do is so that if you want to share this out and you don't have everybody talking at the same time. So we've got a little process. So what I'm going to do here is like on where we have Martin right here, is I'm just gonna take first off, I'm gonna click on mine. So we have our timeline right there, and so this back, first off, at the very bottom, our lower layer, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stretch this out. So look, you see like Martin and we both disappeared. Because what I've done is I stretched our project basically. But look, I'm over here. And so if I move my playhead back over here, look, now we both appeared. And then, so here's the little tricky part. So what I'll do here is Martin, I'm going to click on your clip. And then see our timeline right there that's showing up. And so here's kind of one of these little tricks here when you're working in video editing here in Express.
I love that.
So I'm going to grab your scene. And as you see, as I do that, as I drag it, you see like mine is playing. And here's kind of the cool thing. As you drag, we should see so it's very faint right there. See that? It's hard to tell, but there's a tiny little blue line that appears right there.
Oh, yeah.
So what's happening is as I disappear, then you pop in.
Oh, I see.
So one of the things we can do right here is we can take a little screenshot or take a quick picture of ourselves and then drop it in here. And so that could be like our trigger, or like I say, like this is Claudia's going to talk first and then Martin. So look, if I hit play here now. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Fonz Mendoza. He is an innovator from South Texas. I want to say thank you for all that you do. Also, he's got a wonderful podcast. You got to check it out. So, Fonz, thank you so much for everything that you do. And then, boom.
Well, hello. This message is for
I love that.
Tolnai.
Yeah.
Kate, you know I love you for everything that you do, and of course, one of my original or our original innovators. So thank you for all you do, boss.
And then we share it out with another student, and then they can do another self-record. So what we can do is we can place some, well, I would say placeholder images for us until it's like our turn to talk.
Yeah.
But then it basically one at a time. So you'll see like you'll see the videos pop up.
I
once
love
at
this.
a time.
No,
So,
yeah. In my head, I think about even like a responding to a prompt. Right, this is an appreciation wall. For me, it's like responding to a prompt. This could be a great exit ticket, at the end. And the other thing that I was thinking about is maybe taking a picture and making that the in between.
Yeah.
And then starting another scene.
Yes.
It's a little bit more advanced, folks,
Yeah.
but for those of you who are like, what else can we do?
Yeah.
So I think, starting off with the picture and then duplicating that picture and then keep on adding the elements as you go.
And
So.
you can have like a single, I would say, post-it note on one scene and then go to the next scene. So it could go from scene to scene to scene. I happen to just put 4 of them on the wall. I mean, it's just a little, you have to play with that timeline of when one will appear and when will one disappear. But you really make this any way you want. And so the link for this project, I'm going to see if we can pull it up. It is one of our Adobe links. It's adobe.ly/edu digital wall 25. So hopefully it might be showing for you all there or not. I'm not sure it'll be there. But that way, if you want to use this project, you can use it with students. But we'll share it on social as well.
And then I'm seeing folks on the live chat. Senor Silva, I love that. Of course, yes, it could be used to show multiple perspectives as well. So I love it.
Right there next to you. There
there
it
it
is. So if you want to take this project and expand on it, let's see how you can take something like this and make it your own. Again, we did a digital appreciation wall for teachers. We can make it for all the moms in class, or if you want to make one for if you have a teacher at your campus, maybe you want to shout out. We can make a special one for each of the teachers, have a different student for each one. I mean, there's so many different ways you can take this project and just like run with it. And like I always say, be creative and make it your own. So digital appreciation wall. So try it out, folks. Test it out. So guys, we are like, it's been a good one, Martin.
Yeah.
We've had tons of fun, and through the chat, we've seen so many people shouting out their favorite educators. And so before we get close to closing out, we're going to just one last time just shout out all the amazing Adobe Creative innovators that are watching. And if you're watching on replay, thank you so much for everything that you do for students and also to amplify creativity.
Yeah, major shout out to not only, of course, our friends who are ACE leaders, innovators, but also for our team, all evangelists, part of the community team. But if we work with you, if we have cross paths in the many places we've been, first of all, just thank you for all you do, because if you're still in the classroom, we know that you are doing that amazing work. So as a parent who still has one in the works, right in the works meaning he's in school, folks, but so yeah, I see what you guys go through every single day, and believe me, I wish we can pay you all millions of dollars for all the amazing job that you do, because because it's not just teaching your subject, it's teaching these little humans that, as you all know, change within time and all the different elements that come in. But we hope that you have, definitely come along with us and share and spark some little magic.
What I think, Martin, what we can do is like do a little quick recap of what we the projects we covered today. So like if you didn't catch us at the very beginning, just do a quick what was your first share out that we
So
had?
my first share out, of course, was the one word tribute, the one that I did for Melissa, and of course I love that one because that can, you can grab pictures, you can create your own, as we did with hers. We grabbed some of her creations, but these are just some of the fun projects that you can repeat throughout the year. But that was my first one.
And then I talked about using the templates, going and searching for Teacher Appreciation Week, and then taking something and remixing it and adding your voice using the video self-record. And then Martine, you had the wonderful one with the Ricardo one. What was
Yes,
that
so
one?
that was the certificate, right? So I love the certificates, and there's so many different ways that we can do certificates. But hopefully, you saw the way that we can, of course, definitely do the translation. You can definitely make it magic by adding your own logos, your own fonts. We showed them how to change the different fonts, how to do, of course, the different effects with not only on the fonts but in the pictures as well. And the realities, if Cloudy and I had more time, we'd be here for the next 15 hours.
Yeah.
Exploring so many.
I'll miss my flight.
But there's so many different ways, and I'd like to thank, of course, all of our guests who were here with us throughout this time. So thank you for joining us. And
and then the last project, so you don't forget the digital appreciation wall. Like just taking some stuff like this, and that you can take and remix and make it out. But if you share it on social, tag us at Adobe Edu Creative and use that hashtag and anything that you share. With everyone that's been here, if you haven't dropped your favorite teacher, your shout out to your teacher in the chat. In the chat.
Once again, do not adjust your TV set.
Drop it into the chat. Some of your favorite educators that just a shout out. If there's a colleague of yours that you want to give a shout out, I guess right now it's a great time. But we could do some really quick shout outs too.
If your teacher, the ones who were because you talked about your favorite teacher, I talked about mine. If you're like, oh, you know what, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, look them up. Create a certificate, do a cork board about all the wonderful things you learned from them and send it to them. I cannot tell you, I don't know if you get these, Claudio, but I think we all do. When I see old student of mine who come up and say, thank you for X, Y, and Z, sometimes it's like a little memory lane, like, oh, we did that in class? Yeah. It's like, oh, you learned that from me? Okay, great. But once again, thank you. And for those of you who are like, oh, can we see this again? Yes, please click subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. So thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out
Yes.
on this. Yeah, and then also if you are joining us, if you've been joining us, we see a lot of familiar faces in the chat here and some new faces in the chat. We thank you so much. But next Tuesday, don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
We kind of tease a little bit of it with the video self-record, but next week, you're in for a treat. It's creating a retro year-end reflection video because we're getting, my wife teaches kinder. She's already counting down the
I think all teachers.
Yeah, I think all teachers.
They all have that special calendar in the classroom.
Students are doing it. Teachers are doing it. So you can a fun activity is create a retro year-end reflection video. You don't want to miss this. Jesse, one of our colleagues, Jesse, he will be joined by amazing guest innovator Kristen Brooks, and they'll show you how to create an awesome self-reflection video using the video self-record, one of the newest features in Adobe Express. So you can he's going to take your class, so bring your class with you, and they're going to walk you step by step on how to work on that project. So more information on that, and I think the link, it is you can register, getting tongue twisted, adobe.ly/Adobe Live EDU, and you can sign up. Oh, I guess someone said 32 days. Look at someone's already like 32 days.
Of course it is.
How many days? No, how many days? And so there it is, right there, folks. So thank you again so much for joining with us today. And if next week's session, you go there, you can get some more information. You can sign up, and a link will be sent to you. But also, as Martin mentioned, if you subscribe to the channel, you get the notifications when it's going live. Martin, this has been fantastic.
Yeah, buddy.
We had fun.
Yeah.
We had so much in store for you all. But like I think we both started having so much fun.
Yeah.
And
and then we could do this. This is why we say push all the buttons.
Yes, yeah, and try. So, hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We again, teachers. You know, all of us were affected by teachers, impacted by teachers, so we could not have done this without the teachers that have impacted our lives. Mr. Hamilton, again, shout out to Mr. Greg Hamilton, my favorite teacher. Martin.
Mr. Gail Wills.
Hey, everyone.
Still rocking that jazz.
rocking the jazz. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. And again, don't miss out on next week's Student Direct Adobe Live. And hey, as we wrap up, let's do some shout outs right here. So I'm gonna do shout out to Alfredo Silva. Thank you so much for joining, Alfredo.
Yes.
Shouting out. How about your turn?
To Miss Lemansky, EdTech Library, thank you. And I love that you love the Digital Cub Scout. I think we are all Digital Cub Scouts.
Raphael Rowolf, I hope I said your last name. My daughter and I will definitely use it together for Mother's Day. Awesome. So excited to hear that. So shout out to you.
Yeah, Michael Clear, thank you also for being with us. Thank you for participating. There's a lot of really great folks in here. So thank you. We love you all.
New York City Teacher 498. I would call you by your name, but I don't know your name. So,
but she knows how many days are left.
She knows how many days are left. But thank you again, everybody. Shout out. If I could give a shout out to everyone, all the innovators that work with us in our community. Thank you so much for all that you do. Adobe Creative leaders.
The whole Adobe for EDU team. Love you all, folks. Yeah.